Okay, we're back from closed session. City Attorney, is there reportable action from the closed session?
No reportable action.
With that, we will adjourn our Selma City Council special meeting. Take a 5-minute break. Sorry, we've been at it for a little while, and then we'll be back at 6:11 to start our Selma City Council regular meeting. Thank you. It's October 21st, 2024. It's 6:10 in the council chambers at 1710 Tucker Street, Selma, California. Good evening, everybody. The teleconference phone number is 301-715-8592. The webinar ID is 891-6864-5005. When on the phone, if you wish to address the council during the public comment portion of the agenda, press star 9 to raise your hand and we will select you from the meeting queue. Press star 6 to unmute and mute yourself. Notice to meeting attendees, all Selma City Council meetings are video recorded. All rules of procedure and decorum apply to in-person attendees as well as those participating virtually. Disruptive behavior, including but not limited to verbal outbursts, personal attacks, or inappropriate gestures, will not be tolerated. Attendees who fail to adhere to these guidelines will be asked to leave the meeting pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.9, which authorizes the removal of disruptive individuals. Tonight, our invocation is from Pastor Joe Alvarez of the Iglesia Antioquia. Welcome, Pastor. Who are you going for in the series?
Dodge. Let me concentrate now. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus Christ, we just thank you, God. You're a mighty God, Heavenly Father. And we come here, Heavenly Father, join here with everybody that you have appointed, Heavenly Father. We ask you to bless the mayor, the city council, Heavenly Father, and everybody else that's here, that we can do your work, Heavenly Father. Give us your spirit, your Holy Spirit. I ask you in the name of Jesus Christ, Heavenly Father, that everything that goes forward, please you, honor you, and give you, Heavenly Father, all praise. In the name of Jesus Christ, we all say,
Amen.
go Dodgers.
Please stand. Ready, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you call the roll, please, City Clerk?
Councilmember Guerra,
Here.
Councilmember Mendoza Navarro.
Here.
Councilmember Trujillo,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Cho,
Here.
Mayor Robertson.
Here. Potential conflicts of interest. Any council member who has a potential conflict of interest may now identify the item and recuse themselves from discussing and voting on the matter. Agenda changes or deletions. To better accommodate members of the public or inconvenience in the order of presentation, items on the agenda may not be presented or acted on in the order listed. Additions to the agenda may be added only pursuant to California Government Code, Section 54954.2b. Oral communications. At this time, any member of the public may address the City Council regarding any item over which the council has jurisdiction. No action or discussion will be taken on any item not on the agenda. Issues raised will be referred to the city manager for review. Members of the public are asked to limit their remarks to 3 minutes and direct their comments towards the City Council. Do we have any oral communications at this time?
Jim Abital, 1701 Dinuba Avenue. Yes, I do have a question to ask. What is the timeline for a finance operation on our department in the city of Selma? Is it very soon, coming very soon on finance director, a full-time finance director in our city of Selma? I just want to question that.
I can't answer that, sir.
Okay,
Might be part of the reports tonight. I don't know.
thank you.
Thank you.
Santiago Seguera, 2209 Thompson. In my walks at the barrio, my area, District 4, the trash issue, it's alive and well. Has not gone away, has not died, it's still alive. And citizens are very upset because other cities that are serviced by this provider don't have that issue. Also, by my house, there's a telephone wire that's kind of low. And one day I was going by there and I saw the truck coming, so I stopped. The truck went by there just fine, so I don't know why they're reporting that those wires are too low. And they're not even electrical wires, they're the phone wires. So this issue is not gonna go away until it gets fixed, because you know what? And I cannot believe that there was no action taken on the petition that was signed by a lot of citizens, that it was just looked at and whatever. You know, that is the wrong attitude from you guys. You guys need to listen to citizens and try to do the best you can. And saying that the wires are at fault and all that. And also, a lot of the alleys are in good condition. And I know they service some of the alleys because I have a friend on the street that their trash cans in the alley. They go through there and service them. A lot of the United Market Center there, the trash cans are in the alley. Why are we picking and choosing? Besides that, item not even in the contract. Doesn't say that they have to bring them to the front. Where'd this come from? That's what we don't want to know. That's what District Court wants to know. And I think all the other districts, they want to know too. Thank you.
Anyone else with an oral communication at this time? Do we have anyone online or on the phone who'd like to say anything? Great, come on up.
Good evening, everybody. 2675 Rose Avenue. Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Ruby. For those of you who don't know me, I'm here representing Boys and Girls Club. I came to personally invite you all to our re-grand opening that we will be having. Thank you so much to Public Works, who has worked so hard to bring the building back to code so we could have our kids back in this building. We've been there for about a month and a few weeks, and it's been amazing. And I'm so thankful, and I would love for you to come out and see what a difference it is and how much our kids are just thriving, having this opportunity to be at I feel like it's a new building. So I came out to invite you all, invite anybody that wants to come out. We'll have free hot dogs. Um, and so that was my plug. And so you guys are all invited. I just came out to say that. Thank you so much.
Looking forward to it. Anybody else?
Joe Alvarez, 1426 Grove Street. I just want to ask once again, we have a property on 1943 Boulder Street. I don't know how to phrase this no more. We have a bee problem. I know that some people went out there and I guess they tried to deal with the issue. I guess it was too big or whatever it was. But the tenants that were there, we already lost half of the tenants that we had there. Half of the family took off, so now we just have half of the family, and it's getting real bad. So I'm not sure what to do. It's been going on for 3 years. I've been coming in here, called. I just don't know what to do no more. We've got Fresno involved, and hopefully they follow up, and hopefully we do something, because it's getting bad where they're attacking the people that are living there, or the little girls are getting attacked and everything. And it's just, I come in here and I keep reporting and I keep bringing it up, and I don't know what to do no more. So I don't know if you guys can give me some guidance, or we speak to the people who call over here. They'll call back and they don't call back. We don't get follow up. We don't get nothing. So it's just if my daughter comes in here, you guys are gonna like it, because she's a little bit more stronger than I am. But it's just, it's gotten to a point where we're just we're getting called every day by the tenants there, and so it's just really bad. And I would love for somebody to deal with it. I'm not sure why that house is even standing. It got burned, and then they didn't condemn it. They went in there, put some boards on there. We got homeless people living in the backyard. As soon as it gets cold, they're gonna go right back inside, and it's gonna happen again. And that's why my kids, they're both sheriffs and they work at nights, and so that's why they moved out of that house and they bought another house here in Selma, and it's just it's a risk. It's a risk. The house should be condemned. I'm not sure why. I mean, if anybody that goes in there and just looks at the house, that house should have been torn down. It should have been dropped. We offered to buy that house, just so we could tear it up and we could do something with it. But nobody got back to us, and we weren't able to do that. So please help me address this issue, so I won't come up here and beat a dead horse no more.
Pastor, what was that number again?
It's 1943
Got it.
Boulder Street.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Anybody else? Are you on the phone, online?
Hi, caller ending in 599. Your line is open. Please state your name.
Yes, Yolanda Torres, can you hear me okay?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everybody. I'm sorry I missed you guys again tonight. My grandson's homesick, so I'm on grandma duty. But first of all, I would like to say that I would really like everybody to be respectful of one another, be respectful of each other's space, and let's just have a positive meeting tonight. And also, Miss Ruby, if you can hear me, Joe and I would like to help with your ribbon cutting and any donations that you may need. So I will reach out to you. But once again, let's everybody have a good meeting and a productive meeting, and let's move forward. Thank you.
Anyone else?
No, Mayor. Those
Thank
are all the
you.
hands raised.
With that, we will move on to our next item, which is special presentations. Our first item is new employee recognition, community development.
Good evening, council. We have a new hire in community development. Our grants manager, Brittany Rosales, started with us about 3 weeks ago. Yes, round of applause. She comes to us from the great state of Texas. My wife will enjoy that comment. She comes from Dallas County, where she oversaw the administration of, grants and management of funds related to grants. So for us, we're super excited. She's already hit the ground running, organized our grant information, reaching out to departments, identifying sources. She's gotten involved in reporting for some of the grants we already have in process. So we are super excited to have her with us. And I don't know if she wants to say anything or.
Can you hear me? Perfect. Hey, y'all. I'm Brittany. Thank you so much for introducing me. I'm really excited to be here. This is my first city council meeting where I'm actually present. I watched y'all last 2 weeks ago online. So I just wanted to say I'm grateful for this opportunity. I'm optimistic for the future and the value that I can bring the city as far as my expertise and my background goes. So yeah, I look forward to meeting with you guys and getting to know you guys on a one-on-one basis and working with our community here. So thank you.
Great, thank you. Best of luck. All right, we're on to our next item, which is City of Selma's High Performance Government Award.
Good evening again, council. I think it's a pretty exciting day for the city to be recognized, getting an award. The city set out with a process of setting up the software we use for permit and licensing OpenGov in early 2022. And it started with the building department as the highest priority within community development. I think that's the highest volume. I think a lot of council members can attest that you got a lot of calls about inspections and permits and where they were in the process and things like that. And so, the city had the foresight to invest in an updated software permitting system to kind of streamline and make it more accessible to residents, but also promote, transparency along with the streamlining, right? So that we can hold ourselves accountable. And so since then, OpenGov has grown in the permitting services, not just the building department where it started, but planning, engineering, public works, code enforcement, finance, community services, and fire all use it now as well. We started with about 4 permit types, and now we have about 33 that gives the public the ability to apply for various, permits and licenses, without coming to City Hall, which is a convenience factor, but it also allows them to interact directly with staff and track, the progress of their permits to issuance until final. They can track, how many inspections do they have left? They can pay fees online. They can, like we said, interact and provide comments and chat with staff about maybe components that are missing, changes that have been made and why, which just gives another layer of interaction and convenience for the public. They can apply for permits through the portal, which is readily available, but I think it's really that transparency aspect that we really provide now, that everybody can see what's being applied for, where it is, how long it's taking, what the fees are, and they don't change. Staff was encouraged with the process or the progress made as the statistics drastically show improvement in our turnaround times, our acceptance rate, and just the sheer volume of things that we're doing. But like I said, it also holds ourselves accountable in the office. We have people in the office, those that shall remain nameless, that are sitting here that track people down when there's a due date. They need to provide comments to an application. And all those things are really important for us to improve our interaction with the public. So, as a result of those efforts, community development was recognized at OpenGov's annual Transform Conference event as a recipient of the High Performance Government Award, along with other agencies such as the City of Los Angeles, Colorado Springs, San Francisco International Airport, and the City of Santa Cruz, just to name a few. OpenGov has thousands of clients that utilize their software, and we're amongst a handful that were recognized this year for our achievements in providing better service to our community. So this award reflects the commitment of staff to provide a level of service that residents not only expect, but deserve. But this recognition cannot be possible without our amazing staff. So I want to recognize a couple of them. Some that aren't here, but I'm going to recognize them anyway. Lupe Macias for being there to help implement from the start. He originally started in finance, been moved over to community development, so he provided kind of some continuity in not only the collection of fees, but the processing aspect of business licenses, building permits, planning permits, et cetera. Miriam Cruz for being the conductor of the permit train and keeping everyone on task and representing the city's standard for excellence for every customer. And she might have been the one I was talking about, holding everybody accountable. Alicia for representing the city with class on such short notice and accepting the award on our behalf. We have a picture from the event. Jumping back real quick, our portal shows all the departments and what is available for submittal. We recently implemented online plan check for solar permits. So actually those will go through a service called Solar App Plus, which automated plan check. So it's almost instantaneous plan check. So that should bring down some of our numbers, which I'll get into shortly. And so the event was held in Arlington, Texas, great state of Texas again, where Alicia accepted on our behalf alongside our sister cities in California. And Fernando for putting the tools in our hand, our city managers, promotion of these type of tools, not just necessarily OpenGov, but just tools in general, making staff able to provide the best service to our residents in Selma. And lastly, all other city staff. This is not just a community development award, it is a city award. All the departments that have been, involved, but also critical at times to help refine the process when needed. We need to be able to look in the mirror and know when we're not doing something well and be able to be honest that we need to improve. And I appreciate the feedback from all departments of when something's not working, we have a discussion and we work it out because it creates a better product at the end. So I appreciate all the city staff that have grown to use this and streamline things for city staff. Some of the statistics I was talking about, I think I sent out some statistics to City Council Q3 last year, where we did about, I think it's about 84 permits in Q4 last year, we're on pace to do Q4 this year. Our current pace is 229. So about 300% increase with more efficiency than last year. Q3 or Q4 last year, we were averaging about 23 and the whole thing. Upper left-hand corner is Q4 2023. Our average days to issue was about 26, but that was 84 permits. So you can see the projection, we're on pace for 229 permits. I mean, it's showing 11.9 days, which is relatively short. But if you go to the bottom and you look over the last year, for 601 permits, we're at 21 days. So we cut 4 days off from last year. So that's about a 20% decrease, like an 18% decrease in time, but you see a 300% increase in permit volume. And that speaks to the efficiency of staff and the ability to make changes where needed, but becoming familiar with how things work, interacting with the public, getting the word out on how we do things now in Selma. I can say, you know, this group here next to me, they're all about customer service. And I couldn't be happier to work with all of them, not just planning, again, all city staff. Everybody's committed to providing better service for residents of Selma, but specifically the building department, which, as I said, I think a lot of council members received a lot of calls about permits. I remember, I think it was like my first or second month here, Council Member Garrett called me about a permit inspection and we got it resolved. But since that time, I don't know if you've made another call to me about permits since then. We've seen a sharp decline in a lot of interaction related specifically to building permits, which I know was for development purposes is an important thing. When you can clearly say our numbers are coming down, you can provide statistics showing what the turnaround time is. That is a very attractive thing to the development community. So with that, again, I'm very proud of staff.
Great job.
Council, and if I may add, thank you, Jerome, for your presentation and for recognizing our community development staff. But Jerome's also very humble, and you know, as a good leader should, he gives the credit to everyone that's involved. But I do have to recognize, and I would like to recognize Jerome for all of his efforts in making sure that OpenGov has been successfully implemented in the city of Selma. I can't tell you how many compliments I get on a regular basis with regarding how easy it is to do business, how to get permits within the city of Selma compared to how it was in 2021. We've just you know, made so much advancements, and it's like light years away from where we were before. And it's all because Jerome spearheaded this effort and is essentially the architect of the system that we have now. And his leadership, you know, throughout the entire city, kind of coordinating all the department's efforts has been phenomenal. And I'd like to thank him and recognize him for all of his efforts. So, you know, I think there's still a lot of room to grow, definitely. But the sheer volume of permits that we're processing on a monthly basis and quarterly basis just speaks to how efficient and customer service, you know, focused we are these days. So kudos to you and your staff, Jerome. Thank you.
Good job.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to say something to piggyback off what City Manager said. We met the representatives from OpenGov in Long Beach when we went to League of Cities this last week, and to be recognized as, you know, this award, I think it's 239 cities is what represents the League of Cities in California. And for the vendors to recognize us from our name tags, say, oh, Selma, you guys just got an award. We were ready to come back and ask for a presentation or something, or, you know, give you an award or give the city staff an award. But you guys beat us to it. But they named you specifically, and they said that they really are excited to work with you, and just that you took this running, you know, and so congratulations, and congratulations to all of staff, because it is a big thing for us to be able to see live data of what's happening. So when, you know, information's being put out there that nothing's happening, it's like, no, look at our website. go to this website right here and you can see all of the stuff that's happening. And, 300% increase, that's amazing. So congratulations.
I just like to just really just piggyback off what Councilwoman Mendoza Navarro just stated. They didn't mention your name. They actually said that you did a really, really outstanding job and you understood the software. And he also gave me some gifts to give you, which I'll be giving you at the end of the day. But it just felt so good to hear. And we were not by ourselves. We were amongst people and they pulled us out. And it really got me really excited because, these investments into our personnel, when you hear this, it just means that that you are doing the right decision. And I really want to thank you for representing the city of Selma. I want to thank you for putting all the effort in. They didn't just say, oh, he's did this. He said he took the extra efforts. He worked with his staff. I mean, they really came out and I really appreciate the fact that your name was plastered all that for that hour and a half that we were studying. We had to leave. There was so many people there. So thank you so much for representing. Thank you for your staff. You guys are all a good team. You guys are doing a really good job and I really, really appreciate it. I really appreciate hearing your names out there and it was just wonderful listening to all the good things that were said about you guys. Thank you, guys.
Anybody else? Want to get a picture with the award? Want to come up here? Council, we can stand. I also want to congratulate staff. It's a great award, Open Gov Award. I look forward to our city winning many more in the future. Okay, we'll now move on to consent calendar. All items listed under the consent calendar category are considered routine. The complete consent calendar will be enacted by one motion by roll call vote. For purposes of discussion, any council member may have an item removed from the consent calendar and made part of the regular agenda. The council can then approve the remainder of the consent calendar. Does council have any items they would like to have removed from the consent calendar tonight? Is there a motion to approve items A through D?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second? Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Guerra,
Yes.
Councilmember Mendoza Navarro,
Yes.
Councilmember Trujillo, Mayor Pro Tem Cho,
Yes.
Mayor Robertson.
Yes. Under regular business, the first item is consideration of a resolution adopting the Downtown Business Improvement District logo.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I am excited to bring forward a recommendation from the Downtown Business Improvement District. They've been working really hard on a logo that would kind of resemble the identity of the downtown. And it's a project they've been working on for several months now. There's been some trial, some errors, some pivoting. You guys have had, I think it's come to council maybe twice on occasion before for recommendation. You guys have given some guidance. We're just grateful to kind of continue the conversation and continue it in a manner that's engaged. Sorry, I didn't grab a clicker from you. Can you hit the next? Just before I introduce our bid board members who are going to come on and present their recommendation to you all, just kind of giving the speech that I gave to the bid, that revitalization is about far more than just the buildings and the streets. It's about breathing new life into the heart of our community, and the logo is just a tiny part of it, but it's part of the MO and how we want to accomplish so. Next slide, please. I will introduce Parminder and Richard Braden, both on the bid board, Parminder with London Properties and Richard with Gemma Restaurants? Gemma Restaurant Management, to present to you the recommendation.
Good evening, folks. Happy to be here again, and thank you for your time and consideration. And we want to go over these lovely new improved logos that we have designed for you. And thank you to Councilmember Guerra, Councilmember Mendoza Navarro, who helped with input, move us along. And all the exciting stuff going on downtown with the strategic plan and then with the bid stuff to try and tie all this together to breathe a breath of fresh air into downtown Selma once all these other things like trees and lights and all that good stuff coming together. Add to our music and downtown, all those good events that we're going to put on and have started to put on and partnering with city departments to put these on. And logo is the one big thing that we've been trying to get approved, and gone through multiple iterations. And let's see here. So there you go, July 23 to November, and then slide and show you the actual ones. This is the larger one that we would use for embroidered shirts and printwear that we could give a nice visit downtown, highlight some of the buildings and the streetscape. Colors, vibrant blue, of course, the nice, trusting, vibrant colors that incorporated the first logo. And then the second one would be the simplified version of the upper one, which we would boards, embroidery, and screen printing, things like that. And the bottom one, which we've been using a style of that round one on social media, which has been received very well by the public. And by the way, our Instagram following is over 1,000 people now, and we're going to make a push at the end here to try and increase that a lot. And so there we are. Any questions about these logos? And
I want to thank the council and for you two ladies coming to our meeting and helping us carve through this thing. And it was very helpful for your time that you spent with us. And now I think we have a great looking logo, and hopefully tonight that we could get a blessing on that.
Do we have any public input tonight before we bring the matter back to the council? Anybody have a thought about the logo? Anybody online or on the phone with some input on the logo tonight?
Mayor Robertson, at this time, I see no hands raised.
That will bring the matter back to the council. I also want to say thank you to the council's ad hoc committee of Councilmember Guerra and Mendoza Navarro for going that extra mile and helping to bridge the gap between the bid and the city council so that we can move forward on this small but important step towards the future of our downtown. Anybody else have anything? I also would like to say, we always hear a lot of rhetoric. These meetings are kind of shaped, but this is more than rhetoric. These patches, these are signs and symbols of our downtown. And I really love what Parminder said about the trees and lights coming in, because we all sat here a week ago and went through the downtown revitalization plan, and there were some very good suggestions given, but the number one suggestion was trees and lights downtown. They have to be back. So that was a point well taken, and I appreciate that in the patch that we're well positioned to put those trees and lights back. And I think that we're moving forward with this. So I'm definitely on board to move forward with the three logos on this. And thank you for your time. And also, I'm also a business owner that pays my dues to the Business Improvement District. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is too. And I definitely am invested in this success and wish our bid all the best. Did anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Guerra,
Yes.
Councilmember Mendoza Navarro,
Yes.
Councilmember Trujillo,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cho,
Yes.
Mayor Robertson.
Yes. That Job. That will move on to our second and final item tonight on the regular business agenda. That will be, it's actually not regular business, it's a public hearing. It's consideration of revisions to the list of legacy events for the special event permit ordinance, adding the March for Jesus event and removing the Tejano Festival. This is a public hearing and adoption.
Good evening again, council. Before you,
Good
as
evening.
the mayor stated, is an item to revise the ordinance to add the March for Jesus event to the legacy events within the municipal code, as well as remove the Tejano Festival from the legacy events. This item was previously heard by your council at the October 7th meeting, and this would just be the public hearing for that item, which, if approved by your council, and the ordinance is adopted, will go into effect 30 days after today. And staff's available for questions.
That will bring the matter back to council and ask for any council comment before we open up the public hearing to the public for input. Does council have any questions or any comments at this time before we open up the public hearing? That we will open the public hearing to the public. Does anyone have any items they would like to give as their input tonight, either for or against this item?
Santiago Ceguera, 2209 Thompson. I just want to say that, once again, that it's a travesty that we're moving this. I was looking at the list, there's only going to be 8 items on there, 8 groups that are listed under the legacy. And I just want to thank Council Member Guerra and Mayor Robertson for attending last night. I wished all you guys would have gone, but I don't know if you were busy or what's going on, but it was a wonderful event on Saturday. The music was awesome. There was a lot of people, a lot of food. So everybody that went had a great time, and we're taking that away. True, they can still do it, but we're missing an opportunity to help them. And by the way, next year is scheduled for October 18th, so you can write it down. See if you can make time to go. Go see it. I mean, you're taking action on an item you probably never been to. You need to go see it. You need to go check it out. See what it's doing. A lot of people stayed at the Hampton Inn. They were the host hotel. That place made money. A lot of the restaurants made money. So we're not helping out an event that's bringing revenue into the city and to different businesses. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. Make it make sense. Selma deserves better. And before I close, I want to ask, is it allowed to clap or not? I'm kind of confused because we were clapping like 30 times right now. And whenever we clap, you got to read the thing because you can't clap. So is it allowed or not? That's what I want to know.
I haven't heard of any prohibition against clapping.
It was right up last
Free,
meeting.
right there with free speech. I'll have to consult my code of conduct that I bring with me to every meeting, but I didn't see any prohibition on
Okay, well,
clapping.
thank you, Esteban. This is our
Thanks.
opportunity. Let's clap for the Tejano event. Yeah.
Anybody else have any input on this public hearing item?
Jim Avalos, 1701 Dinuba. I have great concerns on these issues here, removing one without the other. Both of them are actually good. Tejano Festival brings people in our community, like the band festival. We showcase our town. People come from other towns to come to our event, and they spend money here. They spend time here, and they have a good. It was a good event. I attended it. I always attended it. It's always been good. The March for Jesus, I attended that too. It's all good and perspective in our community. It showcases our community, who we really are, and it brings revenue. And you stop and think about it, it brings revenue. Even the March for Jesus, people from other towns, Fowler, Kingsbury, they come over and they participate. The Hanas Festival, same way. People from other towns, friends come over and they have a good time. They go to the restaurants or before they come, whatever, and buy gas here and everything. And they brag about Selma, who we really are, our community. That's who we want to be about. Brag about Selma, not say, where's Selma at? You know, what are they doing? You know, Baller's doing something, Kingsburg doing something, Visalia is doing something, Clovis is doing something. What is Selma doing? We got to be proactive and showcase in our town. Back in the past, we used to do that. The Pioneer Village was affordable. Things were much more easier to come to people came here. Now we're kind of chasing them away. We're picking and choosing. That's not right, guys. I would take a long look of that decision right now you're about to make. Thank you.
Anybody else with input?
Stella Ramirez, Selma, California. I have a question. I think it was the last meeting, I don't know, Trujillo said that the reason that it didn't make it on the list was because there was some receipts that weren't turned in by the shelter. So my question is, the current animal shelter that we have now, we've asked for receipts as well. We've asked for receipts of stats of how many animals have been euthanized, how many animals they have. You know, we've asked for financial receipts, and we haven't gotten those. So why is it that the animal shelter, the rescue shelter, Second Chance, is getting, you know, put off, getting like, kind of like discriminated? Because that doesn't make sense. That's where I'm at. Why are you taking them off because they didn't submit receipts, but yet we have other receipts that we haven't gotten? And as far as Saturday, we all went, we had a good time. Like I said, this would really help because not only the animals benefit from it, but also the American Cancer Society. And if you haven't been to a Cancer Society event, you know, it's not pretty. You sit there sometimes and you hear these stories, and they benefited from this. So I think that it's important for it to stay on because it helps, like the gentleman said here, it helps our city, you know, our finances, it brings in revenue. But that's just my thoughts on that. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else with a comment? Let's keep it related to the Tejano. I could see the association with the animal shelter because that's who it benefits, but I'm going to keep it on the Tejano concert. Does anybody have a comment on this public hearing item?
1057 Mill Street, Rose Robertson. So I just want to say it's unfortunately, hopefully the votes will change today to keep it on as a legacy to help for the next 12th annual Tejano Country Concert. A lot of citizens from Selma were there, and we got to talk to a lot of them and explain to what's happening and how they're voting towards it. It's very disappointing as well, you know, as they're hearing and watching, and they will go watch the meetings themselves to see it. But overall, it was a very positive Saturday. It was a very nice event. It was just amazing to attend 11th year for the citizens of Selma and also for all other cities to come from as far as Bakersfield as a group that came here. I know Osiguera took a nice group of 20 people to Las Estrellas the next day, and there was other groups that went to other restaurants that we spoke to that came as groups from far as San Francisco as well. However, I think the true meaning of it is we were able to come on in, sit down, and enjoy the event because the baton was passed to another board who's learning, who's learned, and has done an amazing job. And that's what it's about, to get citizens to learn, to get events going for our citizens who want it here, the citizens that deserve it here, and Selma does deserve better. So hopefully things will change for the better, and it's about the citizens. Thank you.
Anybody else with a comment about the Tejano and March for Jesus events? 1057 Mill Street, Rose Robertson. So I just want to say it's unfortunately, hopefully the votes will change today to keep it on as a legacy to help for the next 12th annual Tejano Country Concert.
My name is Anita Gonzalez. I live at 2743. I walk with, for Jesus. I go support, I'm a Catholic. I go walk. And and why you guys can take away the Tijan? Why are we gonna go support other towns when they have, dances and all that? It should be in Selma. A lot of customers tell me they had a lot of fun and they heard they're gonna take it away. And they were telling me where we're gonna go dancing. Why should we go support another town? We should just stay in Selma. You guys need to make a decision. It needs to stay. For Walk for Jesus, you guys are doing wrong if you take it away. And the dancing and all that. If I didn't have to work, I would have been out there dancing. I like to dance, but I had to work. You guys would have seen me out there with my cowboy hat and some boots and some jeans, but I couldn't go. I had to work. And we did have some customers from the dance. They went over there and they said they had a lot of fun. They wish it's going to continue. I'm just talking for them. I get embarrassed, but I had to come up here and talk for them. Don't take it away, you guys. Why should we go support somebody else town and give them our money to them? It should stay here. Think about it, guys. And don't take away, walk away, Jesus. I was there to support them. Thank you, guys.
Anybody else with a comment? Anybody online or on the phone with a comment about this public hearing item?
Mayor Robertson, at this time, there are no hands raised.
All right, thank you. With that, we will close the public hearing and refer the matter back to council. Does council have a comment before
I
we
have a
move forward
comment.
with the vote?
I'd just like to say and echo the same thing that all our citizens have stated. This is it was the 11th year, and they did an amazing job. And showcasing our city is what we want to do. And we got so many compliments that night from just people from out of town saying what a amazing event, that they just enjoy this event every year. And you see the same people that come back every year. They also had an individual or few people that came from Texas. And that just shows you what a great event it is. And it's just, a shame that as a city, we want to take it off the legacy. I mean, again, it just doesn't make sense to me because these people, they're eating at our restaurants, just like they mentioned. They stay at our hotels. Hampton did a deal with them. They gave them, $100, $110 a night for folks that came from San Jose, Bakersfield. I mean, they came from all over. And that was a deal that they made with them. Not to mention, like they spend money here, gas. I mean, it's just a showcase for our community. And, people also state that they look at this like, wow, I wish we could do this in our city. So we should be proud, and I mentioned about my friend Yvonne Hernandez in Fowler. She could put 16 farmers market in less than 3 months, and we only can put 8 items a year. That's a shame. Fowler is smaller than we are. Selma should be putting these events every month and showcasing our town. I really hope that our council would reconsider their decision tonight.
Any other comments?
Can we read what the ordinance says? Because there's nothing about not allowing the events to happen. Or, I mean, I know that the public hearing says that it's waiving the second reading, but I really think that everybody needs to hear what this means. It doesn't mean we're taking any events away. It's just basically meaning that they are not automatically, the fee waiver is not automatic. They would have to apply for a fee waiver, but they would have to be a nonprofit and have X amount of, they have to fall within the standards. So nobody's preventing them from applying for a fee waiver if it's a nonprofit that's putting it together. That's all it is. And so I'm just wanting to know, can we actually read what the ordinance says and not just assume that something's being taken away, because it's not? Is that possible?
Yeah, I mean, you guys are welcome, anyone's welcome to read it out loud if you want to. Or, I mean, I can read it. I'm gonna pull it up.
This is also part of the packet. It's part of the record. So if anyone wants to read it,
So the
it's a public
I'm
record.
going to start with the first section, purpose. The purpose of this section is to provide an equitable means for community organizations to access fee reductions or fee waivers, to establish mutually beneficial partnerships between the city and the community, and to effectively control the manner in which the city provides event support via fee reductions or fee waivers. Identify legacy events that shall be budgeted by the City of Selma annually for co-sponsorship. Responsibility. The number of special events the city supports with waivers or reductions will depend on the budget and operating impacts and will vary annually. Annually, the city will allocate up to $25,000 to be used to waive or reduce city service fees required for special events. All events must occur within the year they are budgeted to occur. Unmet thresholds at the end of the year will not be carried forward to future years. The city manager may waive or reduce special event city permit fees up to a total of $500 per event after reviewing a recommendation from the recreation director and finance director, and upon a finding of eligibility pursuant to the criteria provided herein. If the request exceeds $500 per event or includes other city service fees outside of the permit fees mentioned above, then the request must be approved by City Council. Eligible special events and activities. Fee reductions and waivers are available to a variety of events, including sporting, tourism, cultural, general, and major community events. The following projects and organizers are ineligible: events organized by groups or individuals that are unincorporated, private functions, political parties and lobby groups, recipients of any other financial or other type of assistance from the city within the same calendar year, projects or organizations who have not satisfactorily fulfilled their obligations following previous fee reductions or waivers. Legacy events defined. Legacy events demonstrate consistent benefit to the local community and meet one of the following criteria: have been held for a significant number of years while providing education to visitors regarding the historical and/or cultural heritage of residents of the city of Selma. Celebrate national holidays with the residents of Selma. Promote the youth of the city and/or the region at large through collaboration with local schools. The following events have been identified by the City Council as legacy events: the Raisin Festival, 3rd of July celebration, Band Festival, Christmas Parade, Sikh Parade, Portuguese Parade. The ordinance proposes to strike Tejano Festival, Chamber of Commerce Annual Car Show and Barbecue, and the ordinance proposes to add the March for Jesus event to the legacy events. Fee reductions and waivers. Fee reductions and waivers are for permit fees only. Direct costs, including but not limited to staff time and applicable overtime, are not eligible for fee waiver or reduction under this policy. The following qualifications must be met to be eligible for fee reductions or waivers: the following not-for-profit organizations and nonprofit entities that have a documented federal tax exempt status: 501c3, 501c4, 501c5, and 501c6, 501c7. Local organization presence. Organization cannot receive more than one waiver or reduction in a fiscal year. Be open to the public. Raise the profile of Selma through prominent acknowledgement of its support and assistance in event marketing materials and at the event itself. Benefit the residents of Selma. Organization is required to provide a report to City Council post-event. Legacy events shall be subject to provisions of this chapter, but will be budgeted by the City of Selma annually and are not required to obtain fee waivers. Legacy events shall still be required to submit timely special event applications within the required timelines in order to be approved for operation. Nothing in this ordinance shall entitle legacy events to be exempt from the application process or any other requirements in this policy. Cost recovery for fees for special events are based on the following. Tier 1, 100% cost recovery, first-time events that have not been reviewed by the city at any time prior to the current application. Tier 2, 75% cost recovery, recurring events that require some form of city services to conduct the event. And Tier 3, 50% cost recovery, recurring events that require no city services to conduct the event. Other obligations. Any reduction in or waiver of fees allowed will not affect the obligation of a permittee or event organizer to comply with the remaining qualifications, restrictions, and criteria of city policies, or to pay other costs or to provide insurance as required by city policies or ordinances. Business license, health permit, fire permit, and liquor license fees will not be waived or reduced.
Thank you for that. I just wanted the public to understand what it is that we're voting on, and it's not that we are taking any events away. It's just the process of not having to do the application for the fee waiver, for the application waiver, actually, the fee. So if the Tejano Fest wants to come next year and request a fee waiver, the organization that's sponsoring it can do that as long as they fit the requirements of being a nonprofit and they have to be in good standing. So I just wanted to clear that up because we're not voting on removing events from our community. So
But I just want to clarify that the fees are going to cost, just like they did for the Portuguese when they had their parade. They had to pay for the barricade, which was an additional $4,500. So March for Jesus, depending on how many streets you're going to have to block, it's going to cost you. So that's what people have to understand, that that's what costs money. And I can tell you that the Tejano paid way more fees probably just to put on this event. And that's what we're saying. It's not helping our organizations to be able to do events here because it's going to cost them a lot of money. And I think as a city, we need to do better. And we need to really look at these fees and work together.
You know, I mean, tonight we took a step forward with the city receiving this amazing OpenGov award. And I'm proud of our city for getting that. And then we come to this, where we take away the legacy status of the Tejano Festival, which has been around for 11 years. And I'm ashamed of the city for that. I think we can do better than try to make these events not worthy of legacy status. I think the Tejano Festival has shown, even though it's from the past and we have, you know, seen a lot of cancel culture here and the city trying to get rid of things from the past, this has worked. This has been an important part of our past. And we have a lot of people that like the Tejano Festival and would disagree with the council taking away the legacy status. And I'm one of them. I was there on Saturday. It was a great evening. It brought people together. Why would we do this as a council when this is something that brings pride to Selma? It's our only Tejano event all year long. We used to have the Mariachi Festival. That went away, and the Tejano Festival came in. First on High Street. It outgrew that. Then it went to Pioneer Village. It's a great event. And this is something we should be proud of and we should encourage, just like we should be proud of our city getting that award for OpenGov and using that application to make our permits easier to get. Tejano attracts people. Hampton Inn, restaurants. This is something we should not be punishing. This is something we should be celebrating. And we've had this item 2 times before. You know, I'm for the March for Jesus event, but I'm against taking off the Tejano event. We can keep and we should keep both. Any other comments before we ask for a motion? We close the public hearing. Thank you. And with that, is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Mendoza Navarro,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cho,
Yes.
Councilmember Guerra,
No.
Councilmember Trujillo,
Yes.
Mayor Robertson.
No. That the motion passes. Okay, so with that, we will move on to departmental reports. City manager? Oh, sorry, future agenda items. Council request for future agenda items not subject to public comment. Items require a consensus. Does anybody have a future agenda item at this point?
Yes, I'd like an update on the Amberwood sewer line, when that's going in and what's the timeline?
Yeah, we can provide that tonight during
Okay,
department
perfect.
updates. Yeah.
Any other future agenda items?
I have one. I'd like to go ahead and, I guess, do a proclamation or declaration for the Rotary, Selma Rotary Club for celebrating 100-year anniversary.
Is there a consensus from the council on that item?
Yes.
Thank you.
With that, we'll move on to departmental reports. City manager?
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. A few updates tonight. First of all, thank you again to all of our city staff for all the hard work that they continue to do every day for our citizens and for our community. We have started a citywide newsletter that we are publishing on a monthly basis. So for residents who would like to keep up to date with all the activities that are occurring, that our staff are working on, visit our website and sign up via email, or sign up your email address to receive that newsletter. Did want to, I just got an update that the city's going to be participating in a trick or treat trail downtown. So bring your kiddos out to downtown to some of the businesses, including Bloomies and some of the folks around there that are going to be giving candy out, and we'll have city staff out as well. We have a very exciting executive department head retreat this week, which it's our second year conducting that. And if the council recalls, last year when we had that retreat, we developed our purpose statement for our executive staff, which is that we are building Selma into a place of prosperity, unity, and strength. And what the purpose of this retreat is, apart from leadership development, it's cohesion and team building, and making sure that our leaders within City Hall are all working towards the same goal, which is to improve the city of Selma, to provide the best services that we possibly can. And so every year we coordinate to make sure that those goals, that those missions are still intact. And if we need to change anything, if we need to improve anything, we're discussing internally as a department head executive team. And so looking forward to that. I also attended the Fresno COG PAC meeting a couple of Fridays ago, and always a lot of activity happening with Fresno COG with grants, and we'll be submitting some grants to the COG here coming up that we'll update the council on. And other than that, I think that's it. Thank you, council.
I had a question, city manager, from somebody in the public, asked about the status of the finance director. Is there any update on that?
Yeah, that's a personnel matter, Mayor, and I can provide an update to the city staff. But anybody who's interested in our ongoing recruitments can visit the city's website, and the finance director position is listed on there as an ongoing recruitment.
Okay, city attorney,
Nothing to report.
deputy city manager.
I have nothing to report, but I will let the city engineer provide an update on the progress of the Amberwood sewer line.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The Amberwood project is under construction. You may have noticed any road closures and work on Pacific Avenue between Nebraska and Saginaw. So they have been they started the project at Saginaw and Pacific and worked their way north along Pacific Avenue all the way to Nebraska. And there was work at the intersection of Nebraska and Pacific where they constructed the new manhole And they have stopped at that point so that they can now get inspections by SKF to clear the pipe that was installed between Nebraska and Saginaw. So what this will allow them to do, and for the last week or two, they've been doing a pressure test in the new pipe that they put in. They close each end, they add pressure to it, and the SKF will monitor that pressure to show that there's no leaks in the line. Once that clears those inspections, they will repave the street in Pacific. Right now, it's still temporary pavement. So once they get all their inspections cleared, they'll do permanent paving so that we can open up those streets and be completely done with the project within the industrial park. Once that's done, then you'll see construction continue on Nebraska, heading east to Amber and north on Amber. And then the other piece that you'll see starting here in the next month for November is the work at the under the railroad. So on Saginaw Avenue, they have to do what's called jack and bore. So we dig two big pits on either side, and they actually push a pipe under the railroad so that we don't disturb the railroad. That's a very careful process. It has to be monitored 24 hours by the railroad. So there's a lot of work that has to go into that, but you'll see that starting in November. As far as the project schedule, it is still set to finish by January 1st. So unless there's any issues, anything that comes up based on construction, we can provide updates, but that currently is the project schedule.
Thank you.
Administrative Services Director.
Report. Thank you.
Okay. Community Services Director. Filling in for Community Services Director.
Good evening, mayors and members of the council. Just a few things to update you on. So we did have a really good successful beautification cleaning event this past Saturday. And so I just wanted to say thank you to A&M Consulting, Selma Beautification Committee, Mid-Valley Disposal, and city staff, along with Cal Water for donating some snacks. We did have about 30 volunteers out Saturday morning, early in the morning, helping with the community cleanup in the downtown right before the band festival this upcoming weekend. And so that segues me into the next update. We do have our annual band festival taking place this Saturday from 9 a.m. to about 12. So the roads will be closed in downtown from about 6 in the morning to about 1 p.m. So come on out and listen to some good bands playing and have some music in the downtown along with some food. Just to reiterate what Ms. Ruby said earlier, I invite you all to join us on Wednesday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon for the Boys and Girls Club Salazar Center reopening. Other than that, we do have a community resource fair this Thursday as well. We partnered with Assemblymember Dr. Aramula's office, and so we'll be out at Lincoln Park from 9 to 1, giving out just different information and resources to the community. And then the last thing I wanted to touch bases on is our 5K color run registration is still open. So if you have not registered and want to participate, just follow our social media page on Facebook or Instagram, and it is linked on our site. So we are still accepting registrations. That's all.
Our Chief Webster.
Evening, Mayor and Council. Just wanted to thank you all again for attending the badge pinning last week. That was a great event, and thank you to my staff and the police department staff for organizing that event. With that being said, we have two new members of our department starting this week. One was Brian Marsh, an engineer that came from Dinuba. He started today. And then Neil Maddox, a firefighter that promoted from a single role EMT position, will be starting on shift on Wednesday. So we're excited for those two to join the force. And then the last part that will, I believe, fulfill all of our staffing needs, at least at the moment. We have an open recruitment for battalion chief as well as fire captain that the HR department has been super helpful with. So Janie, thank you for everything you do for us. End of report.
Okay. City Clerk, Public Information Officer.
Mayor, members of the City Council, I think it's very important to discuss all of the events that are happening this week. The the fact that we have an event on Wednesday with the Boys and Girls Club, on Thursday for the resource fair. On Friday, the police department is partnering with a group to provide a sensory-friendly Halloween bash. On Saturday, we have the band festival. So I hope no one had anything to do, anything on your calendars, and that goes for members of the community here too, and those watching online, because this week there is so many things happening. So those that say there's not things happening in Selma, we have your whole week planned for you. And just as a reminder, on Saturday, the 11-day vote center opens at the Selma Neighborhood Resource Center. And that address is 1940 East Front Street. So Selma is very lucky that we have an 11-day vote center. So from Saturday through Monday, November 4th, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., that vote center is going to be open. And that, yes, that does include Saturday and Sunday. So we really are super grateful for the County of Fresno to allow us to have that 11-day vote center. It's not all cities are allowed to have an 11-day vote center, but we champion for that and we are receiving that. And it's such a great benefit. So I urge all Selma residents to, if you guys are not available to attend or to return your ballot by mail, stop by the 11-day vote center from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Public Works Director,
Thing to report.
Police Chief.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, we want to congratulate Sergeant Jonathan Chacon, who's just promoted on Saturday. He is our newest sergeant. He's been with the police department for just over 5 years. We're extremely proud to have him join the management team as we move into the future. Secondly, I just want to echo on what Raina said. Our staff has been working diligently in decorating our police department to hold a sensory-friendly Halloween bash for those children or young adults that maybe can't enjoy a normal kind of haunted house because of some health issues or whatever the case may be. So we're super proud, and I'm proud of the staff for getting the department ready. Additionally, we held a Special Olympics fundraiser on October 18th at Starbucks. So for anyone that came out, thank you very much. We appreciate your participation and contributions. Additionally, I have the stats for you for September, both for the police department and for the Animal Services Center. If anybody has any questions on that, I can actually speak to the Animal Services report. If you look in front of you, they had 59 animals that entered the shelter. 5 were adopted out. 22 dogs were returned to their owners from the shelter. 28 animals were transferred to rescue partners. 2 animals, unfortunately, were too ill to survive because they were neonate kittens. I don't know what that means. I think it just they were premature. And they passed away. And 1 animal was euthanized at the vet. Currently, there's 41 dogs and 18 cats at the shelter, and 25 dogs and cats in foster care. Our return to owner rate is 37%. I think that's extremely impressive when you compare that to the national average of 3 to 5%. That's an enormous accomplishment for our staff. Our live release rate for this month of September was 98%. Year to date, we're at about 93%. So again, that's a compliment to our staff and the job they do. If you'll notice on Facebook, every time a dog comes in, it's quickly posted that this animal's coming to the shelter with the attempt of getting it back to the owner. And again, that takes a lot of work, and we're very proud of our staff for facilitating all of that. Additionally, I want to kind of give you some numbers. Year to date, we have adopted, our services center has adopted 95 animals out. 30 of those dogs were to citizens of Fresno, 24 dogs to citizens of Selma, 9 animals to the city of Kingsburg, 8 to the city of Clovis. We've also adopted dogs out to Parlier, Sanger, Dinuba, Madera, Carruthers, Tulare, San Jose, and Visalia. So what that tells us is that our staff is not just working in the local region, but broad and beyond our region. And again, that's a credit to their hard work and the work that they do. Beyond that, we are currently going to be getting a desk phone at the site. Right now, that has been our biggest hindrance. So currently, we're just working off of a cell phone. Even though that's their only means of communication, on average, they're answering about 40 calls per day. Those are citizens calling in, asking questions, asking, seeking information for whatever it is that they're looking for. So again, that on top of our communications, getting dogs reconnected, again, it's just a phenomenal job by our staff, and we couldn't be more proud of them.
Chief, do you mind if I address the phone issue? And that's an issue that's been persistent for years, even when Second Chance was at the shelter. And the reason is there is not a landline that can be accessed at that particular facility. And we've tried to work with both Comcast and AT&T, and the cost to just put a landline there is astronomical. So we're looking at different internet-based options that would allow us to have a desk phone there. But we are operating within the means that we have, and staff is doing a really good job at turning over every stone to make sure that we have adequate service out there. But again, that's an ongoing issue that's been the case for several years now.
Thank you. Sorry about that. And additionally, just because we did get a PRA request recently for some citizens apparently asked about the expense that the city had to pay to send me to the FBI National Academy. Just for the record, that total cost for the 10-week program to the city was $251.97. That was the entire cost that it cost the city for me to go. I personally spent thousands of dollars, but to the city, it was $251.97. So I just kind of want to put that information out there. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Chief. Just a quick clarification on the animal shelter, and thank you for that report. What are the hours again of the animal shelter? Is it open? I know we had a discussion about it a couple months ago. Are there hours on Sunday, or is it closed on Sunday, but there are folks who are out there cleaning?
We have staff on site every day of the week. Sunday is a catch-up day. It allows staff time to spend a little more time with the animals, clean the facilities, ensure that it's operable to an appropriate standard. So it's open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday. It's open to the public from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And again, that allows time for staff to handle administrative duties, make sure that the facility is maintained and operable so that we can accept visitors.
Just clarify again, because I'm getting input from the public. If there's a injured dog after hours, they call the PD. Is that the
Yes.
protocol? And then PD goes out and assesses the situation?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you. All right. We'll move on to council reports. Councilmember Mendoza Navarro.
Yes, so I attended the badge pinning for the police officers and also the firefighters. So that was a really nice event. It was really good to see all of the families and all of our new safety personnel. So I went to League of Cities, and as council recalls, I was voted as the voting delegate. Unfortunately, we did not have a quorum. There was 221 cities represented, and we needed the 239. So it did not pass. Well, actually, it passed as a recommendation. So it's just going to go back to the general meeting, and then they'll just have a recommendation of what to approve the information that was on the ballot. Also participated, during the League of Cities, though, there was a lot of classes. I wish I could have split myself between a couple of the sessions that were happening concurrently. There was a lot of great sessions that I went to. They had some about how cities successful responding in homelessness. There was private-public partnerships, how to leverage those types of funds, how the federal government is partnering with California to reduce barriers to house for housing and services. So that has a lot to do with Prop 1 that just passed, and having those resources for the behavioral health has money so that they can go ahead and leverage the money to help with housing and also deal with the behavioral health issues. They just, like I said, I wish I could have split myself with different areas. I did an ethics training. There was also a really good essential tips for effective meetings. And one of the things that, was echoed really throughout the whole conference was having, good communication, staff, reports, write good staff reports, have council go and have meetings with the city manager prior to the meeting so that there's not those gotcha kind of moments, because we don't like that, because then it makes it look like staff's not prepared. But the thing is that it's communication, communicating very well. And they also had what essentials were, what the duties were of a city manager and staff, what the duties were of the mayor, what the duties of council members were. And so I took screenshots or pictures. They also had slides that are available. So again, it was a really good training. I just wish that all my colleagues here would have been able to attend because they had a lot of great information. And then I wanted to welcome the new staff. Brittany, I think she's gone already, and congratulate staff again for the award that they received. And then one more thing, just on a personal note, is I'm part of the leadership team for the Encounter School of Ministry at the St. Joseph's, and we just put on a dynamic youth retreat for over 350 young adults and youth to participate for the confirmation class. So I rushed home from Long Beach to be here at this event at 6 o'clock. So that was really exciting on Friday. That's it.
Councilmember Trujillo?
I also attended the badge pinning, so that was really exciting. It was really nice to see all the officers and firefighters. Congratulations on that. I also attended the League of Cities. One of the notes I want to take and give to our community is that, it's really funny. We have our city mayor of Fowler being the president of the City League. So that helped us a lot because he was able to give us information and be able to share that. But he was exiting, so we were able to congratulate him, give him a cake, and tell him thank you for all the services. Something that actually gives us gives us good communication. I also attended the proof of the AB 1234, which is an ethic class. We give this to our HR person. They actually put it in a file. One of the most clear vision of being a city council member is to understand leadership and to understand what you're actually able to do. And it was really exciting to get all the information and to be able to take notes. And, from the first day to talking to listening to our key speaker in regards to, rather than talking, why don't you listen? Rather than speaking, why don't you have a conversation? And these things, they meant well, they give. And one of the things I spoke to fellow Councilwoman Mendoza Navarro was, it's kind of like every class has a meaning to what's going on in our community, of what communities, right? So if you can also, the GIS, I'm gonna go back to that conference. I went there and the guy tells me, I gotta give you something to give Jerome. So Jerome, I have something for you, okay? And it was so amazing because we were getting so much information that we were late to a lunch because of the fact of staying in a class. And we took so much notes and, it's good when you come back and you speak to staff about the information because you're able to intertwine and, start talking about the laws and, the ADU laws, the changes of that. I came back I really got into the new laws of SB 330, which went to, it just had a lot of them. What are the primary factors of, getting rejected? It's almost a health. It's a health. And I was kind of like, well, what is that? And they started explaining to us. And so it opened our eyes and opened my eyes to a lot of law changing that pertain to the state of California that actually affects our city. And, eliminating parking lots just to add more ADUs, adding 8 ADUs to a whole lot who would think you could put ADUs in a lot? But these are all things that the state of California is administering towards all the municipal governments. We as the little cities, we listen, we hear. So when we come back and we see these changes, it has meaning to what's going on, right? So on that sense, I was really happy to be able to just get as much information and come back and of course, meet with you guys and talk about it, right? Even if it's just talking because of that, it gives me knowledge. And so I was really happy and I thank the council for allowing us to go and getting enriched on that information. Another one is I want to thank the people that are putting on the trick or treat because they came to my office and we're like the last ones in that corner, right? Last ones of the, on Front Street. And they said, hey, get your place set up. We're gonna have kids walk by. So I'm so happy for that, you know? And another one is they came and they sent us and they told us, hey, why don't you guys join the 5K? All my staff is required to run in the 5K. I will not run, I will walk, but my staff will run. But we're gonna participate and we're for that. So we really appreciate it. Again, I want to thank all the staff for all the hard work. It's paying dividends, and I'm so grateful to be able to go to conference and hear your names and hear you guys. That means that you guys are actually plugging in, doing positive things, and you guys are doing things and it's paying off. So I want to thank you for all the good work and hard work and everything you guys are doing because you guys are, it's paying off and it's showing out in our conferences, okay? And that is it. Thank you guys so much.
Councilmember Guerra?
I also attended the pinning for our fire department and for PD. That was a very nice event. I also attended a Chamber of Commerce mixer there at Thomas, used to be Thomas Robinson, but Thomas Markham. So they had a really nice mixer. And then I also attended the Tejano concert that we just spoke of. And pretty much that's it. And I do have a busy week this week. I think I'm attending probably every single event. And I do want to also echo what a, great job all our staffers doing. And I really thank you guys for everything you guys do. Especially, I want to give some kudos to Public Works, parks. Everything looks really nice. Everyone that came out to clean up on Saturday, that was amazing. And you guys, you guys do a phenomenal job, especially for the band, band festival, and not just for them, but you do it throughout the year and it looks really nice. It really, really shows. So I want to give a thank you to everybody. And that's pretty much it for me. Thanks.
Mayor Pro Tem Cho?
Yes, hi. I'd like to congratulate all the staff for getting that strategic award. I'm very proud of you. Attended a joint meeting with the BID and the Planning Commission sharing the strategic master plan for our downtown, and we are moving a direction. Also, I attended also the police and fire department pending. That was a really nice affair to see it and, bring in our new people, watch the family pin their family member officers and firefighters. I also attended a Kings Basin Water Authority meeting this last weekend. I was had a busy week too. So this weekend is going to be also a very busy weekend. Saturday is the Rotary Band Festival, so it'll be downtown. Sunday will be our Central Valley Lioness Lions Club Pack Fight 31. We will be at the Pioneer Village. Monday, Central Valley Lioness Lions having the Chili Verde fundraiser. Thank you, everybody, staff and everybody that has bought tickets. So you get to pick up at 5 to 7 at Cho's Kitchen. Thank you.
Okay, I have a COG meeting on Thursday, and I will be asking the Caltrans representative about the homeless encampment on Highway 99 in Floral. I appreciate the council member bringing the homelessness up. I did have a question for staff. When will that, or the city attorney, when will that ordinance actually be going into effect? The anti-camping ordinance the city passed.
It was 30 days after the last meeting, so, which was, so November 7th. Huh?
We're 14 days into the 30.
Yeah.
Okay.
So around November 7th, that would be 30 days.
Got it. So after that time, the city can actually enforce the anti-camping ordinance in the parks and the city, within the city.
Correct.
Thank you for that. I wanted to say congratulations to staff. That's awesome. Good job getting that Open Gov award. Too bad we couldn't just keep moving forward with the good news tonight. Interesting to hear about leadership. You know, there's a difference between definitions of leadership and words and how you actually lead, which I always thought was by example, and that means being honest, and that means being open, and that means never expecting someone else to do what you wouldn't do, but being an example. And I think that's a very important part of being a leader. I want to say thank you to Tricia Cardoza down Barcelos and the Portuguese Hall for providing the venue for the Selma Mayor Council School Board debate last week. Thank you to Moses Stites for moderating the debate, which he did on his own time. I want to say congratulations to all the candidates who showed up and faced the public and spoke to them and answered their questions. Again, to me, that's true leadership. Looking forward to the Boys and Girls Club ceremony. I attended the Chamber of Commerce mixer at Thomas Markham. I also greeted a tour bus full of California Association of Coordinated Transit at the new maintenance facility. We're becoming a real hub for transit people in the state. They're coming in busloads to look at our 15,000 square foot facility that we've brought in since 2018. That is putting Selma on the map. People are really interested in this one-of-a-kind charging technology, and I, for one, can't wait until that April ribbon cutting. And I appreciate Moses Stites' director leadership. And after COG, we'll have an FCRTA meeting as well. We'll have a good report on what's going on, and really appreciate his leadership on that. I attended the Savor the Flavor event to benefit the American Cancer Society. That was a very good event to raise funds for a really important cause. We definitely need to find a cure for cancer and do the practical things that it takes to do that. And I appreciate everybody who came out on that and showed up for that. And I hope everyone has a good rest of the week, and we'll see you at the next council meeting. Good night.